Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia and I'm obsessed with stickers and planning, so if you are too, you're in the right place. My channel is full of plan with me's, sticker hauls, and other planning videos. All of my videos have timestamps in the description so you can skip around to different sections and to different shops in my hauls. And if this is your 20th time listening to this intro, you can go ahead and skip this too. All my social media links, including Instagram, are in the description, as well as all the supplies I use and notes about each video. The planner I'm currently using is my standard size vertical planner, which I use for decorative memory planning. I also just want to add a couple quick notes about me since I don't always remember to go into detail in my videos, and for new viewers it can be confusing. So when I mention work, I'm referring mostly to my bookkeeping position at a grocery store, and when I mention Anastasia, or Anna for short, she is my pet ball python. So let's go ahead and get started with this video, and I hope you enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome to the new release video for the Nightmare collection. Thank you so much for waiting a little bit extra while I took the time to record this. I did want to get out some more orders before really doing anything else. So this is a little bit of a late release for a video, but better late than never. So this was based on the Nightmare Before Christmas movie and any associated clip art that has come out over the years. There are a few kits. More recently, or I guess most recently, would be the Seasons Creepings art from Kittenish Jess, which has a few Nightmare Before Christmas elements in it, and so this can be used with that. But there have also been a few other art sets throughout the years from various shops. I did foil this in silver pixie dust, which honestly I just thought would be really fun because I don't think I've foiled very much in this. It's not like a super popular foil, and I kind of just wanted to see how it looks, and also it kind of matches the mock spread, which you got a peek of right here, but that's what we'll go with that. And as a disclaimer, any black dots or other imperfections you see in these demo sheets are only for these demo sheets. The final versions that you will receive if you order these will of course not have any of those because I have a very strict quality control process. So let's go ahead and get into the quarter sheets, starting off with the underlays. So as usual, we have our 4 designs, starting with the large pattern, which is the busiest underlay. If you tend to use a lot of boxes and labels throughout your day by day, this is the best option for underlays because you will get more of the design peeking through because the elements are really tiny. So we have some Jack and Oogie Boogie in there. We have a jack-o'-lantern, we have Zero, we have some bats and ornaments as well, and confetti dots. So you'll see those throughout the collection as well. And there's also a Santa hat in there. And then we have the medium underlays, which are the more sparse version of the large, same kind of elements, but more spread out if you don't want something as busy. And then for the 2 fun options, we have this one, which is Jack and Sally's faces, which is kind of creepy considering it's just their faces, but hey, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. The whole thing is creepy, so we're gonna go with it. I just got their faces alternating, and then we have the spooky bats for this one, which is a little bit different from the bats from the Halloween collection, because these are, I don't know, I feel like these are very Tim Burton-y kind of bats. They are much more spooky and spiky, so I thought they would work well with the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. And then we have the confetti full box overlays. This is the full design, which is the busiest confetti. So we have Jack and Sally in that corner, we have Oogie Boogie in this one, and then I did design this little wreath with the teeth because I just thought that was hilarious. So that had to be in there, and also that was part of the clip art from Kittenish Jess, and I just really wanted to make a foil version. And then we have some like presents, jack-o'-lanterns, basically everything else from the collection scattered about. So this is the busiest confetti overlay, and then we have the medium 4 corner, which has just the corners, nothing in the sides. Medium 3 corner, So if you have clip art in one of the 4 corners that you don't want to cover up, you'll have to grab this sheet. And then the medium 2 corner, which has the classic 2 slantways corners. And then we have the top 2 missing and the bottom 2 missing, which are, these 2 are great for fashion boxes, where there's usually like big hair going on here, big dress going on down there, something like that you don't want to cover up. And then we have the small confetti pattern, which is a little bit smaller than the medium. There's a size comparison for you if you want to cover up even less of the clip art. And this also comes in the 4 corners, 3 corners, and 2 corners. And then we have the tall boxes, which are that same confetti. This is a medium size. And then 2 flag overlays. And then these will fit over basically all sizes of tall box. We have this, which is the Glam Planner size tall box, and then this, which is SPC, Crest Press, Apple Blossom Prints, anybody else. And then we have the big box, which also comes in 2 sizes. Descriptions are on the site, depending on which shop's big box you're using. Yeah, that was a big oopsie there, but and we also have flags at the bottom for that one. And then for the double box scene, we have the classic confetti one at the top, and then for the fun one, I just did a larger Jack and 0, and then just ornaments along the top, and there's a couple bats in there as well. And then we have our deco, so we have some larger deco down here going into medium, small, and then our tiny cluster deco, and then our teeny tiny cluster deco at the very top. And then for the full box overlays, I kind of switched it up. So instead of these 2 being borders as well, I just did this one being the border with Jack's face, or Jack's head, and then these 2, because I really wanted to do their faces as overlays. So we have Jack and Sally's faces for that, and then we just have the classic scene for that one in the corner. And then for the quote box overlays, I did change up this frame, so it is like an actual spooky frame instead of just the confetti. And then this one says, "We're simply meant to be," and then there's Jack and Sally in the middle. I just had to do the Bone Daddy quote as a quote box overlay because it's just hilarious that that's his nickname, like canonically. And then we have a busier quote box that says, "Just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it." And then, of course, the classic list is Halloween quote down there. So this will be good for a box with a lot of clip art that you don't want to cover up too much of, but if you have a pattern full box, one of these 2 will be good for that. And then we have our swoops and dangles. So here's the dangles. At the top we have the long and medium up there, and then the tinier ones down here, and then we have some bigger swoops down here, smaller ones there, and then we have the teeny tiny mini swoops, which are 0, the dog, little ghost doggy. So there's that. And then for the smaller sheets, we do have the hole reinforcers, and then we have the 3 header designs. So we have just the confetti headers, and then we have these spooky bats, and then we have 0 and the pumpkin, which I had to pair together because 0's nose is actually a jack-o'-lantern. And there are 11 headers on these sheets, so if you're buying them a la carte, you only need 2 sheets to form 22 headers. And then if you're going to use some extra ones in the sidebar, you would need to pick up a 3rd sheet. Then we also have the dividers. So we have just that little like wavy mountain design there. We have bats for that one, for the tiny dainty one, and then I just had to do the wreath, so that's like the top half of the wreath with the teeth. And then we have the simple line dividers down there, and this sheet is also available on premium matte in case you're using really busy underlays and you want to be able to see the dividers over them. They will have that white border if you get them in the premium matte. Otherwise you can just get the clear glossy as usual. And then we have the corners as well. So these 2 rows are the medium corners, these are the small ones, and then I always make some extra tiny dainty ones for this sheet as well, which are great over like half boxes or 3rd boxes. So that's the corners. And then for the bottom washi, start off with the 15mm. So we have just kind of a classic mixed pattern of Jack's head, and then a Santa hat, 0, an ornament, and a bat. And then for the deco over here, ignore that spot. I did decide to put the Santa hat on Jack just for fun, so that's the only place you'll get that piece of deco. And then we have the bats overlay. And then we have the larger Jack and 0 alternating. And then we have the faces alternating. And then if you are, actually, we'll start with the confetti right here and the confetti flag overlays. And then if you're using a glam planner kit, you'll want to pick up the 10 and 7mm as well for the triplicated bottom washi, in addition to one of the 15mm. So we have the jack-o'-lanterns, and then the confetti pattern, and then 2 glam planner size flag overlays. And then the 32mm is kind of like the graveyard scene. So we have Jack and Sally on their little mountain, the graveyard, and then that is Jack's house right there on the other side. And then there's 0, of course, and then a few bats as well. And then there is the jack-o'-lantern in the graveyard. So there is the version with the weekend banner and then without, depending on if you want to use it. So we do have Jack's house as a deco piece here. I like to put deco on this sheet that is kind of unique to this sheet that you won't find anywhere else in the collection, just as a fun thing. So yeah, we have Jack's house, and then we have larger Oogie Boogie. So that is the 32mm. Oh, I forgot to mention that the left side has an enormous Oogie Boogie. These items are not to scale, but they're kind of fun. All right, and then lastly, we'll get into the bundle. So we have, this bundle comes in either the mini or ultimate size. Mini does not have underlays. Ultimate, you can pick whichever underlays you want from the collection. So we have the confetti full box overlay page right here. We have 2 full size, 2 medium 4-corner, 2 medium 2-corner, and then the confetti double box scene. So if you want the fun double box scene, as usual, you'll have to purchase that a la carte. And then you get 2 pages of your underlays. Again, you can pick whichever you want. This is just the large. And then next we have the headers and deco page. You get your full set of deco. Headers will be one of each of the 3 designs. And then we have the bottom washi page. I just chose the classic mixed bottom washi overlay for that one. So if you want a different one, you'll have to purchase that a la carte. And then we have the confetti, the flags, and then our date dots, weekend banner, tiny deco, and dividers as usual on that sheet. And then there is an optional add-on sheet for both the mini and the ultimate bundle. So we have 2 extra underlays, which are the bats is what I chose, and then we have the medium 3-corner. You get a couple of those, a couple from the full box overlay sheet, and then a couple of quotes. So that is the bundle, and that's pretty much it for the Nightmare collection. I'll show you the mock spread in one second. First, we're going to go over the foil bundle exclusive for this release, which I finally started doing them again. I don't know how regular it's going to be, but I had to do this one because it was on the schedule, and I wanted to get this out before Dia de los Muertos. Sorry, I can't say that super correctly because I do not speak a word of Spanish, but I had to get out a marigold foil bundle exclusive just for that, people who celebrate that. There are a few kits out there for that. I think you're mostly going to find Coco kits. There is the Remember Me art from SPC that came out a while ago, if you're still hoarding that. I unfortunately already used mine. And then there is the Dia de los Muertos collection from the Crafty Banana. And then I have a Coco kit from B&R Paper Crafts as well, and that's a photo kit. So those are what I have and have seen, but I'm sure there are more out there. But anyways, I wanted to have this to go with that, just in case you happen to have one that you need overlays for. So here we have the full box overlays, the confetti. So we have our little gravestone. There are, of course, marigolds sprinkled throughout, and then we have candles. We have a picture frame and a little jug right there. Supposed to be kind of like the ofrenda. And then up here we have the little banners, and then this is like the musical corner. So we have our maracas and then musical instruments that have like skulls on them. Or not musical instruments, musical notes that have skulls. And then just more of the same repeating elements on the outside for the 2 full ones. And then we have the medium 4 corner, medium 2 corner, and then the double box scene. And then these underlays might be my favorite of all time. These are the banner underlays. So I just took a few designs for that, and these look so gorgeous. And this is foiled in orange just for demonstration purposes. Unfortunately, there are not choices for these underlays. These are set because it is a foil bundle exclusive, so I basically only create 1 bundle and that's it. And then we have the headers and deco. So we have our confetti headers, and then the 2 extra designs are the maracas and the candles. And then we have our deco, so we have 2 like sugar skulls, maracas, music notes, and then smaller deco, teeny tiny cluster, and then I had to do a whole row of the candles and the marigolds because those are going to be really easy to sprinkle throughout as deco. And then for the bottom washi, I did create like a whole ofrenda setup right here. So we have our various picture frames, crosses, marigolds, candles, everything else. And then there's a maraca. And then the confetti as well. And then this is the optional add-on for both sizes, containing the alternate underlays, which are the sugar skulls, and then a medium 3 corner confetti. And then we have our 2 full box overlays and 2 quotes. So these 2 are cocoa themed, these 2 are not, in case you are or you aren't using a cocoa themed kit. So we have the guitar from Coco, and then we have just a border with a skull, and then our 2 quotes. We have Just Remember Me from Coco, and then we have Dia de los Muertos in case you want to put that on the day. So here we go. I think I also already used my Dia de los Muertos kit from Crafty Banana, so I think I'm just left with the Coco one, so I'll definitely be pulling this in to go with the Coco kit from B&R Paper Crafts. If you know of any other Coco or Dia de los Muertos themed kits, let me know so I can buy them and or recommend them. So that is the Marigold Foil Bundle exclusive. Alright, so next we have to go over the mock spread before I lay down everything. So this is a kit from Creating & Co. I don't remember what it's called, but it is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And I don't really use her format anymore. It doesn't really have enough boxes for me, and they're not really kind of the style that I'm used to, so I do tend to use these more as mock spread kits from now on. But thankfully I happen to still have this one that went with this theme, so it's what I'm going to be using. And I was requested to kind of do a talk through of how I laid on the foil over this. So instead of doing a sped up version, I am just going to kind of talk through how I lay it all down. So once I kind of go through these sheets and have the ones picked out that I know I'm going to use for this mock spread, I will come back and kind of walk you through it. You can always skip ahead. I am going to put timestamps for this one just for this specific purpose. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just pulled out some foil pages that we're going to use. I did pull out some from the bundle. I typically like to use up the ones that have oopses on them for the mock spread so that I can use the ones that are good for orders. So I have a couple underlay sheets, and then I always do the swoops and dangles, and then the corners and dividers as well. So that's pretty much what we're going to use. I usually start by laying down the underlays as like the very first thing. So since we have a full page of these, I'm just going to use those to fill in any blank spots. So we're going to do a couple each of the other designs first. So I'm going to grab the bats from the add-on page, and I usually do one on each, or I usually do 2 on each side, but in the case where I only have 2, or I'm only going to use 2 from the add-on page, we're just going to do 1 on each side. So we'll do that, and then let's grab, I think we'll do 2 of each from the medium. or we'll start with one and then fill in any other spaces that we get, because I did use an extra full box on this page, so we don't have quite as much room to work with on this page. We'll do the large there. No, we'll do the large here. And that goes there. And we'll put this one here. I think we're gonna have to put a medium here as well. So I'm just gonna do that while I'm thinking of it. And then we'll fill in these large ones while I still have it on the brain. I don't know what happened here somehow. Oh, I think I put a full box down there and I realized I had to rearrange some things, so I lifted it up. So that looks really scuffed, so I'm going to cover that up with the large pattern so you can no longer see the scuffage. Alright, then let's come back over to this side. This one I did decide was going to be large, so we'll do that. And then definitely do a large down here. I think we'll do one more large up here, and then we'll do another faces. So I've used 3 on those 2 sheets out of 4. So it's kind of evened out. Alright. So we're done with that. And now I typically like to do the bottom washi. Well, I don't know. I kind of do these in whatever order strikes me in the moment. So I think it would look really cool if we did the top design over the top design. Some people do the confetti on the top, which just feels like sacrilege to me. I don't know why. Oh yeah, so as you can see, the Creating & Co. bottom washi is a little bit long there too, so if this was like an actual spread I was doing, I would probably cut it so that it's not hanging off the edge and also very obviously uncovered with a foil overlay, because Creating & Co. kits are premium matte. Alright, so my cutting machine clearly did not like this particular strip, so sometimes if you can feel something like starting to catch, just peel it up from the other side and it can still be salvageable. Alright, so there's that. I don't always use this page for the mock spread, but it's always nice when I do, because then I get to use the flag overlays, which I otherwise would not, because I don't want to kind of waste a whole page of the tall box or big box overlays just so I can scavenge the page flag overlays from them. And then I can also pull in the weekend banner for this. I always put it right here. I have always put it right here, and I'll probably continue to do so. Where's my, what's it called? So typically what I would do, okay, I don't have that page right now, but I pretty much always put the weekend banner from the kit right here instead of the foiled one. I pretty much never use the foiled one, because like, as you can see, it blends in with the foiled overlays. So I like to do the glossy one or the premium matte one over this instead so that you can see it better. But since I clearly don't have one, I actually don't even think I like the ones from Creating & Co. anyway, so I never use them. But yeah, so basically I just have the foil one, so that's how that looks for now, even though that's not technically how I would do it in my actual planner, which I dearly miss that thing. I tell ya, I'm trying to catch up on orders, to the point where I literally like won't allow myself to do anything else except this video, I guess, and also probably the newsletter I'll do at some point too. But yeah, it has been quite a while since I've filmed some Plan With Me's. but I will get back into it. Alright, I don't really use these for the mock spread, so I'm just going to put that aside for now, and let's see, I think I can do the full box overlays. There's a few more things I can do before I have to lay down some boxes, so actually let's go ahead and start with these. I'm going to try to use some of these before I break into the confetti ones. So let's see where these things are going to work best. This one I think I can get away with doing here. None of these are particularly great for quotes. That one's kind of blank, so we'll put the biggest one, or the busiest one, over that. Bone Daddy I kind of want to bring over here. It's going to cover up poor Zero's face though, so I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, let's put this one right here actually, so it's not really covering up anything. And then the border one, can that one go over here? Yeah, that would be really cute. I find these border ones are actually kind of hard to use. Do you find the same thing? Because there's only a certain type of like full box that I feel like it can go over, where it looks like cool and like you planned it that way, you know? Otherwise it just looks like you're covering up like too much in like weird places. I don't know. I'm really picky about my full box overlays. I feel like I'm going to be switching up a lot of stuff about my planning style when I actually get into like using some of my favorite kits, because right now I feel like I'm kind of trying to use up my kits that are not my favorite so that I'm left with only like my top favorite kits. So that's kind of the stuff you'll be seeing in my plan with me as well, stuff you've been seeing if you've been watching them, but that's probably how it's going to continue to be for a little bit. And then like my plan is to have only my favorite kits and then like go really ham on the foil and then just have them all be like the most extra ever, but like at the same time kind of more refined. Like I want them to be extra in that I do like use a lot of foil, but also like plan out really carefully where it goes and like kind of try to use daintier stuff so it doesn't cover up like too much of the full boxes. I'm already extra with how I plan out my like spreads, but it's gonna get even worse I feel like once I have the time to do so. Okay, so I think we've got all of the full boxes covered up, which we do. So these sheets can be tossed. I didn't have a double box scene for this one, so don't have to use any of that. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and lay down the header overlays, which I always do one design at once because I always do them in the same pattern. I lay down the colors at once, or not at once, but like in the same pattern, so it goes like a slant like that. And then I do the header overlays in the exact same way, just because I personally find it easier to go down the line with one instead of having to switch back and forth, and then I'll forget which one I was using and I'll lose my place and put down a wrong thing. And I don't think I have used undo on like glossy foil overlays, but I don't think I would like to try anytime soon because I feel like it's a disaster waiting to happen. I like vaguely remember that I think somebody might have done it. It was probably like Andrea or somebody who like successfully did it. And I remember looking at that and thinking like, okay, it might have worked for her, but I'm sure I would find a way to mess that up. Like, I don't think it would be so easy for me. So I'm kind of at the point where like if it's something that like needs to be perfect, I'm gonna like take my time at laying it down. Like the bottom washi overlays, I typically spend more time on than say header overlays, where like it kind of doesn't matter because if I put it down crooked, like, and it hangs off the edge a little bit, it's just gonna go into either a full box overlay or like the bougie, where like you literally won't be able to tell that it's crooked. so I kind of don't care as much. But yeah, full box overlays I also try to be really careful about, because when those are crooked, like, you can tell real easy. But yeah, I'm basically trying to survive as long as I can without having to use undo over any kind of foiled overlay, because I'm sure that will be a disaster. Plus, not to mention, I live in California, where it's like technically like illegal to order undo, or like to have it sent to me. So like, you can't really order it to California. So I would have to rely on my friend who lives in Arizona, High Sage, to send me some, which I know how fast she is about getting stuff into the mail. So I would be waiting probably another lifetime before that happened. So I'm trying not to use my undo either. Okay. So we got those down, except for I forgot the sidebar situation. I do typically use a few in the sidebar. As you can see here, this is like my actual sidebar arrangement, unless I have another full box I want to use there, in which case it will be slightly different. I will use less of the glitter headers, and I won't use this half box, and I'll just kind of like squish these together up here, move this up here, and then fit it down there. Okay, so that's that. I think we'll hold off on this deco, and then the corners and dividers and the swoops and dangles. So we'll hold off on that until we lay down some boxes over here. If there is a movie marquee, I usually do like to put it in just for variation in box style for the mock spread, because obviously it's easier to visualize how it's going to look in your actual planner when there are more boxes to look at. There was a hair stuck, but I got it out. Lucky me. Alrighty, shall we do... I think we'll do... I like doing these pattern strips because they're really good to put dividers over, just to kind of show off how the divider looks. So those I pretty much only use in the mock spreads and nowhere else. Okay, so we have medium covered up. Okay, so if I cover this one up, I have to leave that one uncovered. So I won't do that for now, because I'm not sure which one I want to do. However, we have a few extra of the large, so I think I can cover up some more of those. And then we'll do a glitter one, and then we'll do another one of the washi strips. I really like doing the vertical half boxes because I never have room to do them in my actual spreads. But at the same time, I feel like they work better when they're like the rounded ones that have the border going all the way around, because these just have the swatch on the top and bottom and they just look weird like that. But 'tis what it is. Okay. And then, okay, so I will cover up this one, because I'm going to leave that one uncovered. And then, okay, so that one has to be uncovered and that one has to be uncovered because I've covered these two. And then we'll grab this purple one for down there. So we have a medium covered, so that one has to be uncovered. This one can be covered though. Actually, why don't we leave that one uncovered and we'll cover that one. Let's grab another half box, which Creating & Co. half boxes are also a lot taller than normal half boxes, just in case you did not know that and were thinking about maybe trying out that shop. Her half boxes are really tall and she does not have third boxes that I know of. Could be that her format has changed recently, because I did stop buying from her a while ago. but from what I recall, or based on this old kit, they are still pretty tall. Okay. Alrighty, so we can cover up either that one or that one, which, let's cover up this one. We do have one more half box, so we'll use that. And then I think we're gonna pull in this last washi. Okay. I don't like those two empty ones being next to each other, but that's just kind of how it turned out. So we have all 4 designs covered and uncovered. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this. We don't need any of these. Okay. So now we can put down the deco and everything else. So I do actually like to start with the deco pieces. So this one I kind of meant to be like, these two actually are kind of meant to be like full box overlays. Like you could put them over full boxes if you really wanted to, which I don't think I have a place where it would make sense. So I'm not going to do that. It's a little bit too tall to put over even the Creating a Co half boxes, so I think we won't do anything with that. We'll put Oogie Boogie right there. We'll put 0 right here. This wreath has to go somewhere because I did put some effort into this guy, and we'll just put him right here. And then another Oogie Boogie we'll put right here. And then this bat will go right here. This jack-o'-lantern right here. Santa hat right here. And now let's do these smaller boxes. Oh, let's do the movie marquee actually. So we'll do that there. Present goes there. Jack's head here. What else do we have? Smaller 0 right here. Ornament here, which leaves just this one. Which we can do smaller Oogie Boogie. So now I have just these smaller elements, and I think we'll take some of the tiny cluster deco and put it up in the top section, except these larger bats because I like them, so we'll do those too. Okay, and then we'll take the teeny tiny cluster deco, which is like my favorite thing in the world, and put some in the habit trackers, which I need to remember to do when I'm actually doing a spread, because I feel like the habit trackers don't really have enough foil opportunities, except I do have habit tracker marks, like little check marks or slashes that are foiled that you can use to check these off if you still use them, which I happen to think are like the most fun thing ever. But I think like little icons up there is really cute too. And Oh yeah, these are also, the teeny tiny ones are also meant to be like foil deco for your regular deco. So they're kind of meant to like add a little spot of foil onto these other elements. Because it's just really fun to decorate things. So I'll have those there. Another little bat right here. And wait, that's stuck to the tweezers, and then there we go. I put 2 zeros next to each other, but oh well. It is what it is, and I think we need one in right there. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm gonna put down the dividers. I usually like to do kind of one of each. This is a bigger one, so I'll put that over this washi, and then this bigger one can go over this washi. And then this tiny dainty bats one, actually this one can go like right here, let's just say. And then this simple line divider can go over that one. And this one can go over here. And I'm just going to put another one of the wreaths over here because it's looking a little empty. Oh, and then where can we put the 0 one? I think probably the only place would be this one right here, so we'll do that. Perfect. Okay, so that's pretty much all the dividers I'm going to do. Let's sneak some corners in there. I like to do this before I do the swoops because both of them kind of typically go in the corners of the boxes and things. So we'll do kind of like at least one of each of the 4. So that one can go in that corner. I mean, you probably wouldn't put all 3 of those in a box like that, but again, this is more just for demonstration purposes, so you guys can kind of see what your options are, and you can pick and choose what you like out of these options. Okay, so then you can also put them in fancy labels. The teeniest, tiniest ones also look really good there. And then let's do a medium one so you can kind of see how that looks as well, which the medium is a good size for half boxes. And what else? I think I want to do the bottom left one right here. Which again, these like fancy labels are a little bit weird with the paint swatches, but it is what it is. And then we do that right there. And one more. And these are also great over full boxes as well. Let me see if there's a place that I can use one. I could do some right there if I wanted to, which, let me just kind of show you. So I'll do that one, and then that one, so I'll do a little corner design. So yeah, a nice, really subtle pop of foil right there in the corners if you want to just use these ones. Okay, I think we need just one more over here, which is funny because it's Oogie Boogie and then Oogie Boogie, so I could also do one there, but I won't because kind of got an overload going on here. So we'll put that aside for now, and then finally we'll get into these swoops and dangles, which typically what I would do, I'll just kind of get going with it. So I always like to decorate this particular space with some swoops and dangles. We'll take a longer one to go across the top. And we'll take a teeny tiny one just to connect these two bits there. Very cute. I don't think that leaves room for dangles, so we're not going to do dangles on that. But we will do a dangle over here, because I think it's fun to combine dangles and borders sometimes when there's space for it to work. It's pretty fun. And then I think, no, I do want to do a tiny swoop there. I want to see, nah, I think we'll pass on that. Instead, we can probably put it somewhere else. Whatever, I'll just stick it there. Why not? I wanted to do one in that box, but it was facing the wrong way. But yeah, the teeny tiny dainty foil bits can go in a lot more places. So we got that one. Let's see where this one can go. Yep, there's a lot of foil going on here. Such is the way of the mock spread. Okay, let's try to fit more in these vertical boxes. Is there one facing the other way? There is. Okay, so let's do that, facing that way. I kind of like to overlap them so that the circle covers the circle. Otherwise, it can look kind of weird. Alright, so we got that going on there, and then let's try this one on this side. Okay, I think those are all good. That one's kind of empty a little bit, but like I said, I did want to try to do some kind of dangle. That's funny. Okay, I think we're gonna call it at that. That kind of gives you guys a nice overview of how you can use these bits all over your planner. So thankfully that doesn't leave me too much to need to explain right now. You can clearly see everything that I put down. But if you did skip over this portion, I'll just briefly go over it. So we have the underlays here. I give you examples of both covered up ones and then blank ones. So there's the bats, faces, large and medium, and then our full box overlays. We have medium four corner, medium full confetti, and then we have quotes as well. Here's one of the quote box overlays. Here's the other one. We have the border one, and then this decorative full box overlay. We have our bottom washi, and we have header overlays as well. Trying to recall the order in which I put them down so I can remember all of the things that I did. Then we have our deco pieces. We have large deco in various places, and then tiny deco, especially in the top section. We have more tiny deco. Page flag overlays. And we have our dividers. There's two of the dividers, and then we have some simple line dividers elsewhere. And corners pretty much all over. We have corners. There's a couple dainty corners there. And swoops and dangles as well. So especially right here. Some dangles right here. And yeah, I think that just about does it for the mock spread. So hope this gives you guys some inspiration. Can't wait to see which kits you guys use this with. I know I'm hoarding a few Nightmare Before Christmas kits myself. I know I have a Keytown one. I think I have the SBC one as well that was like really pastel. I think I've actually used a couple that I thought I had. So that might be just what I'm working with, but definitely will be getting the Seasons Creepings art as well and using this with that. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be wonderful. And I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.